Is this a spot?
Welcome to Red Oak.
I think that'll get it down. Yeah.
In order to make sure we're designing things that people love, we look for those little delight points.
We had to find that right balance of the information that they want to see, as well as keeping it as simple as possible.
And then what you start to tease out are the challenges. What are their frustrations? What are the things that annoy them in the morning? What slows them down? Breville's really proud of its design history. We've been around for 90 years and there's not many companies in our space that have survived that long.
A lot of people grow up with having Breville products in their house, and it's just a very iconic name.
We've managed to achieve that by using some principles that our original founders and those that took the company on continue to adhere to. And like one great example is somebody called John O'Brien. And what he used to do every day was read every single consumer feedback card that was sent in. Our capabilities in research have obviously evolved a lot. These days, we're looking to use and partner with the best companies that offer the right tools and systems to allow us to get consumer insights back efficiently.
When we're doing user testing, what we do, we tend to do a recording as well. We use Dovetail to combine and synthesize all that research together, listen back through everything and do some note-taking and give our recommendations. And we use the insights function of Dovetail to do our presentation back to the wider team.
Breville's design philosophy is really around helping consumers simplify mastery so they can master every moment.
So within Breville, we have a range of products. We have a range of users that use them, whether that be a novice or a prosumer. We need to take both into consideration.
So our goal was to create a coffee machine where they could enjoy barista quality coffee, but without all those years of training.
Originally, when we were designing the Oracle Jet, we had simplified the screen down a lot. Just had grind, brew, and steam on the screen and the simple settings buttons. We were like, great, this is super clean and nice. Once we took it into customer research, people were looking at the screen and they were quite confused with what the machine was trying to tell them because we'd taken away all of the settings. While we tried to take away all of that information to make the screen seem more simple, we were actually overcomplicating it for the user.
When you talk about that in a coffee space, or whether that be in cooking, a novice user may just want to press a button and get it done. Even though they don't necessarily understand it, they do aspire to learn more about it, whereas the prosumer may really want to get into the detail of it. We try to make sure that that information is accessible for both types of users.
The way that we try and differentiate from the rest of the competition is by using something we call a SMOB. And a SMOB stands for a simple moment of brilliance. And essentially, it's a way that our products will either be better, faster, simpler, or more engaging than doing it the standard manual way or doing it in the way that the competition does.
Simple things like giving people dark mode on their machine.
Water kettles, something that are used around the world. Generally, lids, up until a certain point, were all spring-loaded. You push a button and the lid would spring open, which would mean hot water is generally springing around. So what we did, and we were the first to do this, was just to put in a mechanism which meant the lid opened really slowly. It's a small thing, it's a little detail, but what we found is that consumers really appreciated it when they came to use it.
For us, during the research and testing process, we do have test kitchens in the US and in the EU who are also validating that the product's working with their coffee beans and their water that they use, because the coffee machines can behave very differently in different regions.
So that when we do the testing here, we're not testing with a really myopic point of view based on just local ingredients. We're sourcing points of view, ingredients and information from all over the world. So the sorts of research we do aren't always front-end and exploratory. It's super important for us to keep a track of the products that we have launched into the market.
We've had to use a combination of different programs as well as different mediums as well. Dovetail has really given us the opportunity to combine all that just into one program.
Right from the beginning of the inception of the idea of a product, we're doing customer research all the way through to the end.
And having a platform where everything is combined there, it allows us to save time and upskilling people in how to use all these different programs. It's all now just on the one platform.
We listen to consumer feedback. We talk to retailers and consumers around the world to make sure that the products that we have got in the field are still delivering on the original promise of the product.
So it was constantly testing, going back to the test kitchen, validating that, getting the engineers and other disciplines along the way, and then going back to the consumer and getting feedback.
And that consumer feedback isn't something that just gets ignored, but it's something that gets absorbed into the company and something that we then use to develop Maybe not the product we're working on right now, but the product we're going to work on next.